very much, Ceann Comhairle. Minister, last June, following the statement issued at the end of the European Council meeting, the Taoiseach and your government colleagues trumpeted the outcome as being a game changer for this country. We were led to believe that the decision to allow for the direct recapitalisation of Spanish banks without placing the burden on the shoulders of the Spanish people had positive benefits for the Irish people, and that the government would be, and that that agreement would be applied to Ireland retrospectively. It was only to be a matter of how much our burden would be lifted, not if it would be lifted. 4 months on, the Taoiseach is back in Brussels. He's been there a number of times since. He recently took a number of his cabinet colleagues, all of them, or almost all of them, to meet with the Commission. But unfortunately, there has been no progress whatsoever on a comprehensive deal on bank debt for Ireland. The lack of action in the intervening period by your government has allowed the momentum that I believe existed to be lost. A dangerous vacuum has developed, and unfortunately that vacuum has been filled by the finance ministers of Germany, the Netherlands and Finland. They have put an entirely different interpretation on the outcome of that June summit to that which was presented by your government. So tough talk at home and silence where it matters has left Ireland without a deal as we face into what is going to be another exceedingly difficult budget. What's needed now is resolute action. So the Taoiseach needs to be heard in Brussels as well as Belmullet, and he needs to be heard in Berlin as well as Ballyhaunis. The Taoiseach is representing Ireland at the negotiating table in Brussels today. So, Minister, can you tell us what it is he's looking for? What exactly is he looking for? In light of the statement of the three finance ministers, is he asking for clarity that his understanding of the June summit is correct and that it still stands? Is he asking for a timeline on the conclusion of a deal on Ireland's bank debt? And if so, can he tell us what it is we're looking for in that regard? Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. Minister.
Thank the Deputy for his question. The Taoiseach is, along with 26 other leaders of the Member States of the European Union, incidentally, he's the only one of the 27 who had his profile on the front cover of the European edition of Time magazine. And
maybe we settle down now, please. Maybe we settle down. Thank you. Minister, thank you. Please proceed.
You're Taoiseach for the front page for other reasons.
All right, you've had your say. Thanks.
Many of you may laugh, but I can assure you that the other heads of government, some of them of a substantial size, would give their right eye for that kind of recognition.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Can I further say?
Sorry, please.
You wouldn't know which one to pick anyway.
Excuse me. There's a time limit on this. Would you please allow the Minister to respond to Deputy Dooley? Thank you.
Can I further say that the Taoiseach is meeting with the other heads of government from his own political family, the European People's Party, and the Taoiseach is likewise meeting with our political family, the Party of European Socialists. At that meeting, President Hollande from France will be with other socialist leaders, preparing for a political preparation for the Council meeting later today. What will they be doing? My understanding is, and I'm confirming it here to the House, in response to your question, Deputy, is that they will be confirming that the decision that they took on the 29th of June will in fact be upheld, that the details in relation to that decision will be fully explored, that the recognition that was contained in the communique of that decision in relation to Ireland will be vindicated and confirmed, and that all of the necessary details surrounding the implementation of that decision will continue to make progress. Now, can I say, Deputy Dooley, in relation to the three finance ministers, those finance ministers, particularly the German, are facing into a period of elections. The three finance ministers made a statement in relation to their interpretation of a particular agreement. The finance ministers were not at the June meeting. They won't be at this meeting today. The heads of government will be. But over the last number of weeks, Minister Noonan and the Taoiseach have been to Berlin, have been to Paris and to other senior capital cities of the larger countries, pressing for Ireland's case and getting recognition of the necessity for the deal agreed in principle at the Council in June would be applied to Ireland.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Dooley, please.
Thanks, Minister. I'm glad that you brought up the Time magazine issue because sadly since June, the Taoiseach has spent more time on a lap of honour congratulating himself for having Ireland included in the text without making any real effort to work with the leaders of the other countries. And I don't believe he has met a single leader in the intervening period. And I'd much prefer if he had done his tour of the capitals of Europe in an attempt to flesh out that deal than running around the media organisations of the world in the hope that they'd have a spare front page at a dead particular time of the year and then to try to present it as some major achievement from Ireland. Minister, your government was elected on a promise to burn bondholders and to take the burden of bank debt off the shoulders of the Irish people. You've singularly failed in that regard to date. Look, you know all about that in your own area. You made certain promises in relation to third-level fees and grants,
please.
and sadly third-level students are starting to find out about that right now. So your government, since the June summit, has also sought to add to the confusion surrounding the deal that existed there. You've tried to confuse the whole issue of the promissory notes with the deal that was supposedly achieved.
Sorry, what's your
June.
supplementary question, Deputy?
I have a minute to put my supplementary question, Controller, and if you give me an opportunity to do so.
Well, it
simply is this. Are we still, or is your government still looking for a deal on Ireland's bank debt as outlined in June? Outlined by your government? Outlined by your government in June? Or are you just holding out on the hope that that promissory note process, which was underway well before June, will somehow be resolved, like the interest issue was resolved, and then you'll be on another lap of honour, and maybe he'll be on the front page of Vanity Fair the next time? Can you tell us, Minister?
Minister, thank you.
You know, Deputy, if I were you representing today the Fianna Fáil party, I would not refer to the word lap of honour, because this House can long remember the long extended, it was longer than Frank Sinatra's last concert. Bertie Ahern's we had the long lap of honour for Bertie, the long relay handover in slow motion while this economy was going down the tubes. We had
Sorry, you're not at a county council meeting here. Would you please settle down? You ask a question, you're getting an answer.
Deputy,
you mightn't like the answer,
Deputy,
but you're
you
getting
referred
it.
to the lap of honour twice. I'm reminding you of how macabre it actually was, all the way to Clara. All the way to Clara. Can I say to you, in relation to your actual pertinent question, that we are continuing to negotiate the stringent components of the Memorandum for Understanding that your government signed off on and which this House supported, and which is attached to the name of the Irish Republic. You claim that we would not be able to negotiate components of that particular Memorandum of Understanding, and we have succeeded in so doing. We will continue to do so. It's not easy. It's difficult. The euro crisis has gone on now for more than 3 years. There are different forces in play. We are trying to convince those forces that it is in everybody's interest that the Irish get the kind of deal that subsequent member states are open to get, because we were the first over the line. And that's why the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach, together with their political families in Europe, family to which neither your party nor the other parties are members of here in this House, and we will get their political support and we will make progress in this Council. As to what extent of the progress, nobody can say. But I know it will be going in the right direction.
Thank you.